happy to welcome this wonderful delegation of the Democratic Progressive Party from Taiwan. And I understand that you've had a very, very fruitful visit, including Washington, D.C., where you were able to visit with some offices there. I'm glad you were able to observe the American electoral system. I was just reading your platform, and I so admire what you have to say here. We believe in universal human rights, transitional justice, and constitutional reform so that our citizens are treated equally regardless of their gender, age, ethnicity, and religion. I think that's very, very beautiful, and I congratulate you on that. And yes. And your delegation is so very experienced, and I must thank your chairman, Vincent Tsai, for organizing this. We do have a little something in common because you are the chair of the Small and Medium Enterprise Credit Guarantee Fund of Taiwan, and my assignment in Congress, in the House, is as the member of the House Small Business Committee. Yes. And in fact, I'm the ranking member, meaning the highest Democrat of the Access to Capital Subcommittee. So we have a lot in common in terms of what we're trying to achieve here in our economies. And in fact, in this country, small business is really the economic engine. It creates 2 out of every 3 new jobs, and that's why I have put so much effort into making sure that our small businesses are indeed as strong as they can be, and that they have the capital that they need in order to expand. Well, you have been able to witness a very tumultuous election. How many words could you use to describe this? But I actually was very, very severely disappointed, of course. Nonetheless, yeah, extremely disappointed and sad. But there was something good that came out of it. And that is, I am chair of the Congressional Asian Pacific American Caucus. And for many, many years, Asians were not represented in Congress. In fact, we were totally invisible. And in fact, for decades, we had only maybe 2 or 3. Well, in this election, we were able to increase our numbers so tremendously that now we have 18 members of Congress that are Asian Pacific Islanders. Yes. It is actually really astounding. We increased our numbers by 4, and that means that Asian Pacific Islanders have a greater voice in our government. It is so wonderful to see, for instance, we have the first Vietnamese American coming from Florida that will be serving in Congress. And of course, in our own U.S. Senate, we have Kamala Harris, who is Indian American and who will be serving in that seat. Let me say also that Taiwan enjoys a great deal of support from the Congress members, and the votes on issues pertaining to Taiwan usually are supported by so many Congress members from both sides of the aisle, Democrat and Republican. And it is because Taiwan has had the tradition of being the leading democracy in Asia. And in fact, you had a successful, peaceful election. That's why we know in the U.S. that we have to uphold our relationship with Taiwan. That's why we have reaffirmed the Taiwan Relations Act. That's why we have the 6 assurances which guide our relationship. That's why we stand by our decision to continue to sell military equipment to Taiwan as our commitment to your defense. And that's why many of us believe that if there is some sort of trade agreement, that Taiwan should be included. And of course, we advocate very strongly for Taiwan's inclusion in so many international bodies. And of course, Congressmember Ed Royce was the lead in making sure that Taiwan was included in Interpol. I was pleased to be a co-sponsor of his bill, but I think the thing to note on that bill, which allows Taiwan to be able to engage in worldwide efforts to fight crime, the vote was incredible. 380 of my colleagues voted for it, and that is a strong vote that you don't often see. So to have that kind of strong support shows you that the relationship between the U.S. and Taiwan is strong, and I believe it will continue to be strong in the future. In the meanwhile, we celebrate all the citizens who come from Taiwan to the U.S. who've really contributed a lot to the U.S. Innovators like Jerry Yang, the co-founder of Yahoo, like Steve Chen, the co-founder of YouTube. They've changed America forever. So certainly we can be very, very proud of the contributions that people from Taiwan have made to America. And so I thank you. I thank you for contributing so much to the economy, culture, and to the innovations that we have here in America. Thank you all so very, very much.
Thank you very much, Congresswoman Chu. 很多人不知道我们那个众议员赵美心议员，他其实是台湾很好的朋友之一。
这个杯啊是民进党的主席蔡英文总统要来送给咱的 Congress。这中间绣一个台湾，一个台湾的形状，绣一个台湾。这个颜色，这点杯颜色，只要食茶的人拢知影，这个颜色是咱在这个国画来对意境是非常关键，叫做雨过天晴啦的颜色啦。我想这代表咱民进党来送给咱的众议员，来，谢谢。
This teacup came from DPP's chairwoman Tsai Ing-wen, and this teacup has Taiwan on there, and also the color of it resembles sunshine will come after the rain.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.